For the first time since 2016 and for the 5th time ever, Penn State is heading to the Rose Bowl. The 11th ranked Nittany Lions will take on the 8th ranked Utah Utes for the 109th rendition of the granddaddy of them all. But with a slight tweak, the Rose Bowl will be played on Monday, January 2nd. If we had to grade NFL rookie classes based on one preseason game, Steelers win the draft, right?
Yep.
Kenny Pickett and George Pickens both with incredible debuts. This week, Pickett took some first-team reps, while Mitch Trubisky will start tonight. The rookie will play in the second string, but Mike Tomlin said this week that Pickett could mix in late with the ones to get live reps with the first string.
On Saturday, we saw an absolute dumpster fire in Chicago. Pittsburgh fell 21-0 on the road. No, not the Steelers and the Bears, the Pirates and the Cubs with a football-like score. Except the thing with baseball is you have to turn around the next day and play the same guys who beat you by 3 touchdowns.
If there is a knock against Ohio State, it's been its strength of schedule.
The only Power 5 opponent the Buckeyes have faced that currently has a winning record are 4-3 Notre Dame and 4-3 Rutgers. And Ohio State has played just one road game, and that came a few weeks ago at Michigan State. And no offense to Sparty, Beaver Stadium packs a little bit more of a punch in terms of edge. Last week, fans helped draw 5 false starts for the Gophers and were electric under the lights. Ohio State hasn't played inside of a full Beaver Stadium since 2018, and for many, today's game will be their first in one of college football's most intimidating and loud stadiums. Last week alone, the crowd helped induce, like I said, those 5 false starts.
Penn State football is certainly popular among the generation of fans that fell in love with black shoes, basic blues, no names, all game.
But as social media plays a larger and larger role in our world, teams have turned to influencers to connect with fans, and Penn State has one of the best roaming the sidelines. In a stadium of 107,000 fans, amongst massively popular college football players, what if I told you one of the most recognizable faces on the sidelines of Beaver Stadium isn't a player? It's Katie Feeney, a sophomore content creator from Washington.
It is crazy, and it's funny because I'll never see myself, I guess, how other people kind of view me, especially here. I just have this platform now, so it's been really cool to get to do things that I never would have dreamed I would be able to do.
Katie first started making videos in middle school.
I never really thought of it as more than just posting on a fun app with my friends.
And since then, her social media following has grown. To date, she has 7 million followers on TikTok. Her content has a little bit of everything: day in the lives, unboxing, and other trends. But some of her most popular videos involve the sports world. Social media has taken her to the MLB All-Star Game, the Super Bowl, and of course, the Penn State sidelines.
I thought no one would know me here. I'd get to start fresh and go into college just like everyone else, but pretty soon after, the dean announced we had a famous TikToker amongst the freshman class, so I was like, oh no, hiding my face, but I wouldn't trade it for anything, so.
This spring, Katie grabbed national headlines when the Washington Commanders brought her in as the team's first ever social media correspondent.
I'll go on the field at games. I went to a lot of the training camps over the summer. I went to the draft party. I get to interview players. And the goal is just to reach a younger generation.
Katie has found a way to make social media a career. She's become financially independent at age 20. She doesn't have to go to school. She doesn't have to be in Happy Valley. She chooses to, and she wouldn't trade it for the world.
That was just the most unreal experience, getting to look up at the fans and having people even yell my name, which is super new to me. I'm not used to people being like, Katie, what's up? And I'm like, hey. And then I signed a kid's helmet. I was like, me? You want me to sign this? Are you sure? So it's been just so surreal.
Very cool story there, Anderley.
She's really sweet.
Thank you very much. When we come back, it's time to go one-on-one with Jared Smalley, who breaks down the Buckeyes in my one-on-one interview.
But first, Joe Murgo has your game day forecast.
Hey guys.
Beach balls bouncing around, so I might get nailed in the head for one of these as Penn State. Number 11, Penn State is Penn State on number 8. Utah in the 109th rendition of the Rose Bowl tomorrow from Pasadena. We can hear a "We Are" chant going on as one of the main focuses of this whole game will be Penn State's defense under first-year defensive coordinator Manny Diaz. Utah head coach Kyle Whittingham said in a Sunday press conference that Penn State's defense is no doubt the best they've played this season, and a key element of the defensive success is the emergence of freshman linebacker Abdul Carter. The freshman led the team in tackles for loss and ranked 4th in the conference in sacks. On Sunday, James Franklin said Carter came to Penn State with a college-ready body and mentality.
He's got, the ability to find the ball, which at the linebacker position you can teach those things, but obviously some guys kind of naturally have it, and some guys got to work at it, and he's got the ability to find the ball. He's gotten better at that as the year has gone on, and then what he just has, he's got the ability to burst. Once he makes his mind up, he's got a burst towards the ball, which is unlike many that I've had and many that I've seen.
And this game will be a best-on-best matchup. Utah's explosive offense that puts up 40 points. They did that 8 times this season against Penn State's solid defense that only allows 18 points a game. And other to note from Penn State this press conference on Sunday, James Franklin said running back Kevon Lee will be available for the Rose Bowl. He hasn't played since the Michigan game. And also of note, offensive lineman, Oliver Shanu, that can be a mouthful, will be a game time decision, so we just have to wait and see. There's a party going on here in LA, so make sure to tune into more coverage on your Nittany Nation station. You can check that out online and, of course, on our social media. In Los Angeles for your Nittany Nation, I'm Anderley Penwell. Jalen Pickett made history Monday night at the Bryce Jordan Center, recording just the 2nd triple-double in program history. His 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists aided the Nittany Lions in their 68-62 win over Butler.
That's the expectations that I have for him. The one thing that he does is he settles us. When things are going, when they're on a run, when you just need a tough bucket to be able to throw him the ball in the post and him just go score it for you, right? That's what really good teams have.
Pickett joins Calvin Booth in the Nittany Lions triple-double club, and he's been a big part of the 3-0 Nittany Lions start. Through 2 games, he's averaging nearly a double-double, 14 points and 9 assists.
It's a great accomplishment for sure. More happy with the win, of course. I mean, it got close there at the end, but just do what the team needed. Our guards want to rebound the ball so we can play faster in transition, and I just got a lot of shooters around me. I mean, Funk, Seth, Cam. I mean, they all make shots for us. Miles is a great shooter, so just make it easy reads for our team.
Penn State's now 3-0 on the year, and up next, the Nittany Lions take a trip down south for the Charleston Classic on Thursday starting at 11:30. At the Bryce Jordan Center for your Nittany Nation, I'm Anderley Penwell. Hello, and welcome to another week of Nittany Nation Overtime. We are the Nitwits, of course. I'm Anderley Penwell, joined as always by Mark Brennan and Neil Riddell. This week's special guest is Massimo Manca, a kicker from the 80s. Guys, how are we doing today?
Great.
Wonderful.
Great to have Massimo in here.
And it's great to not be talking about a loss this week.
After a win, exactly.
So yeah, Penn State, of course, winning in the whiteout 45-17. Bit of a rocky start on offense, but once we got into the swing of things, it ended up being a pretty solid performance across the board. What part of the offensive performance stuck out to you guys the most?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the play of Sean Clifford.
Some other personnel that stood out to me, Parker Washington, career game, of course. Some of those catches, I mean, I was watching them frame by frame, just sticky fingers there. He was, 11 catches for 179 yards and a touchdown. A bit of a late breakout. Early in the season, he was quiet. Why do you think that was?
Well, he got him back in the game.
The words change and instability are not often associated with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the 2022 NFL Draft marks the beginning of quite a few changes for the organization. For the first time in years, they don't have a franchise quarterback. They welcome a new defensive coordinator, and it's GM Kevin Colbert's last season with the team. But heading into draft week, head coach Mike Tomlin seemed overall okay with his team's situation.
Our goal always is to, address all needs, and so that we can kind of let the field come to us in the draft, and we feel comfortable that we have quality, capable guys at each and every position, and that's what we desire, and that way we can go into the draft and not feel undue pressure in terms of reaching positionally, et cetera. And so we had a very productive free agency period. We're excited about the guys that we were able to acquire.
The draft process is almost ritualistic for Tomlin, Colbert, and the Steelers. Tomlin welcomed back the totality of the process, which has been gone for 2 years because of the pandemic. By Wednesday, Colbert says the team will have their order of players with the mentality of taking the best available player.
our top 3 picks, they have to become starters in the business model that we follow, because you have to have so many players fit into so many categories. When you miss on a player in those rounds, which we have, you end up spending more money trying to replace them in free agency.
Many expect the Steelers to draft a quarterback this year, a fact made more complicated by the tragic death of Dwayne Haskins. When Tomlin was asked how the tragedy has affected any decision-making, Tomlin said no business decisions have been made. Instead, the team is focusing on honoring his memory and supporting his family. At Heinz Field, Anderley Penwell, WTAJ Sports.
Let's talk defense.
For the second straight year, James Franklin's Nittany Lions have held a conference opponent to a shutout. And like last weekend in Bloomington, sacks against the Terps were plentiful. With 7 on Saturday, the Nittany Lions finished with 6+ sacks in back-to-back games for the first time in 15 years. Starting defensive end Adisa Isaac finished the day with 4 tackles, including a sack. And after the game, he said, simply put, good play is contagious.
Once we see one guy with a high motor, we're like, man, let's all match his intensity, and that's what we do. I feel like our chemistry has grown every single game this year, and it's playing a lot of dividends for us.
And in this one, Penn State held Maryland to under 200 yards, something they've done in back-to-back weeks.
And that's the first time they've done that since 2019. Thank you very much, Anderley. Ryan, back to you. Live in State College, and Anderley, this was not the first Everett walk-off this postseason. That's been a bit of a theme, hasn't it?
Well, Andrew, drama has definitely been a theme for Everett baseball. 3 of their 4 postseason wins have come by a walk-off, and all 4 of them have been by just 1 run. Now, this one here, it was Jaden Zinn with a couple on as he delivered the historic moment that gave the school its first state baseball championship. When I spoke with the senior, he took me through that last at-bat, saying he came to the plate knowing, quote, I had to get my boys home.
I was supposed to bunt. My coach gave me the bunt signal, and he gave it to me the whole way through my batting. And I got 2 strikes on me, and my coach gave me the bunt. And I heard my teammates, they were yelling at me. They were saying, come on, Zinn, hit. Come on, Zinn, hit. And that's the only thing that was in my mind the whole time. And I knew I had to get him home, so I just gave it my best shot.
Well, Everett finishes the year with a 22-2 record. Like I said, it's their first baseball state title and just the second state title in school history. At University Park, Anderley Penwell, WTAJ Sports.
Hi, this is Ethan Norris, and you're watching SportsBeat on WTAJ.
Love it. Love a flex. Well, welcome back. It was pretty good. This next matchup takes us to the Mid-Penn Conference, where State College has really been flexing their muscle this year. I didn't even plan that line. It
nice.
Just happened. Yeah.
The 8-0 Little Lions host 6-2 Cumberland Valley Rams. With a win, State College can put a bow on the conference. Cute.
That's not a bow.
Cumberland Valley at State College from Memorial Field. Second quarter, Cumberland Valley leading 24-14, but the Little Lions clawing their way back into this one from the 11-yard line. Finn Furmanak, run. He goes 89 yards for the State College touchdown. Now just a 3-point lead for CB. A little bit of deja vu again from the 11-yard line. Again, Furmanak airs this one out for Ty Salazar.
You get deja vu.
The long score gives State College their first lead of the game, 28-24 State College, as Little Lions win 48-31 and are 9-0 on the year.
All right, up next, can State College keep it rolling and stay undefeated as they continue Mid-Penn play? Anderley?
Little Lions on the road tonight, taking on Central Dauphin East. Now, right out of the gates, this one, good defense here from the Little Lions. First play of the game, Ty Salazar picking Panthers QB off to get things rolling for State College. Ensuing drive, Little Lions capitalizing, going down 7-0 on this touchdown from Deontay Sheffy here. Now, halfway into the second quarter, more State College. CD East quarterback picked again, this time by Dante Nastasi. He takes this one back for the pick 6. State College wins 42.